online discovery.
Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel and welcome to another video. A few years ago I had the idea to create a squad-based action arcade game, and mostly a single player squad based. So you're the main guy or girl and you have a bunch of squad members following you around the level, helping you out where needed, backing you up in a fight, operating stuff, doing stuff. And that was kind of the problem I had with Regulator City. I've been working on the game now for 2 years, and the biggest or the most important part of the game was getting that squad to move around on their own AI, and I had no idea where to start. Eventually I figured it out, I got it all up and running, and in this video I'm gonna explain how I did it, how these guys are moving around and know where to go and what's important and what's not important, how to hide, how to just actually be a squad that you can actually depend on while playing the game. So let's dive into it. And the first step is pretty simple. A lot of these games have it, a tile map. Top-down platformers, a lot of them use tile maps. And a tile map is pretty much exactly what it says. Like the tiles on your bathroom floor or on your bathroom wall or wherever you place them in your bathroom. They are tiled next to each other. They're all the same size, and combined they make up a very nice wall, or in this case a level. Now every tile has a different image, and placing the right tiles in the right order and the right pattern, you'll actually make up a level that looks like maybe it's a building, maybe it's a hospital, maybe it's a bank, maybe it's just all fake and it's flat surface. So how are my guys gonna be moving around? That brings us to pathfinding. Now pathfinding has been done for many years in games, and it can be done in many different ways. I decided to go with A-star pathfinding, which is pretty simple and straightforward, but I also used it because I already had this code written up for a previous game or 2 or 3. I've been using it quite a while. So the character knows where he is and he knows where he wants to go. The pathfinding will just brute force its way to see what the cheapest route is to get there. So the path that takes the least amount of steps. Now there are quicker ways to do it, but overall it's a pretty fast way to do it, and it works for my game. Now of course they can go from point A to point B, but where is point B? Where should they go, and what's the best place to go? That brings in the nodes. To have them make decisions on what the best position is to move, like if there is an enemy you want to hide behind stuff or you want to move out of danger. So for that we needed to figure out where can these guys go. They can't just move to the center of a room every time or at the center of a hallway. They need an exact location to move towards. So on the map there are nodes, and nodes are simple coordinates, X and Y coordinate, nothing special. But for this video they are now little dots everywhere, and these dots are pretty much generated based on the furniture that we're placing in the level editor. So whenever somebody creates a level or designs a level, the game will look at that level, will figure out there are a lot of furniture, and furniture is pretty much everything that is in the wall or empty space. So I call everything furniture in this game. Closets, cars, trees, lanterns, lights, whatever, it's all furniture. We put a bunch of interesting nodes around it if there is an empty space there, and the squad will now be able to know that they can move to those green dots that you see. Of course we also want to make sure they don't move in the sight of an enemy or in the way of an enemy or in a dangerous zone that is about to explode. So for that we also need to figure out which nodes are the best nodes for these guys. To do that we pretty much filter out everything that the player isn't aware of, so everything that's out of sight from the player is gone as node wise, and then we also start giving every node on the screen a little amount of danger to it. If a node is very close to an enemy, it will be a very dangerous node. If it's further away, it will be very safe node. And for this video again, we just visualize that as green are safe nodes, and everything that's colored less than green or more towards red, probably not safe. And then we come up with the, well, probably the most important and also the most messy part of my code. How do these team members decide where they go, which node to pick, what the direction is to move in? Can they move towards an enemy? Should they take out an enemy? Should they avoid the enemy? And that's a lot of messy code. So I'll be honest, if I had time to rewrite a bunch of these things, I would because this whole decision tree is just, I think you should design this on paper before, or at least make it clearer here and there. But also in my case, there's just so many months and months of changes in the game that make me add new rules to this. So I think we all call this spaghetti code, and it kind of is. It's still, it has some logic to it, obviously, else it wouldn't work. But I could probably do this a lot better now that I know what I want the squad to do and how to operate. But yeah, this works, and I'm kind of afraid to touch it right now. As long as it works, it works. Let's keep it that way. Every now and then I tweak little numbers here and there, and then test it a lot, because whenever I change certain things in their decision making, it can go pretty wrong, as they might start making the wrong decisions. But for now, it's running. And decision making is done by a lot of different things that matter. If the player is moving towards a door, that door is going to be the main goal for the squad. If there is triggers happening, there are triggers happening everywhere. For example, an enemy might create a trigger of being there, a bomb that's about to explode, a camera that is moving around and causing stuff, or things that can be picked up. All these things are triggers, and the squad will notice these triggers, and based on where they are and what they're doing and the danger, they will be moving towards nodes within those triggers or within the vicinity of whatever is important. And if they learn the skill to grab intelligence or detonate things, then whenever there's something like that in the neighborhood and near the player, it will trigger the squad members to operate those things, and they will move in, operate it, and you can move on. And as a player, you only have to make sure they are safe and you are safe, and the AI will do everything around you. And that's when the game evolves. They'll learn more new skills, and they will handle more things around you. And of course, if they notice that you are in a stealth mode behind an enemy, they will also just lean back a little bit, stay in stealth mode and help you. Or if you turn off a light, enemies that are near that light will suddenly be confused on what's happening. That confusion is a trigger, and your squad members will operate towards that trigger and take down those enemies in the dark. It's complicated. It sounds very complicated, and there's a lot of trigger stuff happening, but it's pretty cool to see it all function. And that's pretty much how the AI works in Regulator City. And it's been extremely interesting to get this all up and running. The whole node system was something I never thought about, but it adds a lot more functionality to a game by using nodes or interesting spots and areas in the game map. I'm gonna use this much more in future games as well. And there are still a lot of things I can improve on based on what I did in this game. Of course, that's what I say in all these videos. Don't try to do everything at once in your game. Just try to do 1 or 2 new things, and then in the next game you're gonna improve on it. And having this squad-based stuff and having AI move around, I can now use these things for like NPCs living and moving around the world. That would be interesting. Or what if you're a solo soldier in a alien infested spaceship where all the aliens are actually using these nodes to navigate and try to hunt you down. And I think it could be very interesting for future projects. But for now, it's working in Regulator City. I'm very happy with that. So that's Regulator City's AI. Hope it was an interesting video. I made this very short and to the point because I didn't want to go completely techno whatever on you guys. And I know that these days you have to do things quickly on video because else you're losing people and audience, and they'll be scrolling and flipping to the next video. So it's been very interesting learning these things myself. I never done these things, and I also Googled and searched a little bit for just how do other people do these things, how do other developers sort these things out, and it's very hard to find information on these things. So I'm glad I actually found a little bit of a snippet from AAA games doing it this way. And then I figured I could do that as well on my indie game on a top-down 2D arcade shooter. And the struggles I had with what this game was supposed to be wasn't just getting this AI up and running. It was more the question if I could trust these AI guys to function the way I wanted to. I couldn't design levels or functionality or missions around stuff that was broken, so I had to really make sure the AI was always functioning and was getting closer to the point where you can trust them as a player. And of course they're not gonna be flawless, and they're gonna be doing stupid things. I already saw them here and there standing close to an enemy and then not doing anything, like they're pretty much just talking or whatever, doing something to the enemy that wasn't taking them out. At least, yeah, I'm gonna try and fix that issue because it's very annoying. But every now and then they decide to walk a different way, but they will come back to you. They are your squad, but every now and then they do weird stuff. But I also played AAA games that had NPCs and AI characters doing weird things or walking up to cliffs and then just trying to keep walking through them. So it's not just me, it's just very hard to get these things perfect. And I think I succeeded pretty well. And you can judge it by yourself. Try Regulator City on Steam right now and see how your squad performs. You can tweak some settings here and there, or you can just go for a random squad and they will decide if they are very focused on taking out the enemy, or maybe a little bit more stealthy and move around in the dark. It's pretty cool to see that happening. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions about the technology or programming or tech stuff, jump on my Discord and come ask me in #CodeTalk, the channel for talking about these things. And I'm sure to enlighten you and give some more detailed information that wasn't in the video. For now, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.